We are nearly in August, and West Ham have yet to make any signings in the transfer window. And it is being reported by ex-employee, shout out to X, that sources in the club have given assurances that we will make 3 or 4 good signings before the window closes. You know, to add to players staying in the youth player. Now, good signings to me. If you're saying good signings, what does that mean? Are you saying we're going to sign some signings that aren't good signings? To me, you're saying we're going to make 3 or 4 signings. Like that's what we're looking at. It's 3 or 4 signings. Maybe you have a couple of signings for the academy or whatever. Whatever. Question is that enough? Are we doing enough? Are we leaving it too late? Um, you know, I put a video up on all this live from Talksport, and I'm concerned. I'm getting slightly concerned, Nick. Like, I'm not panic stations. I'm not panic stations yet, and I think the positivity is there. But I don't know, mate. I'm slightly concerned by this window so far.
I can see why, and I can see what everyone's saying. I mean, I finally caught up on a Rangers game the other day, and it didn't look great. We haven't got a great midfield, and we do need a left winger. But again, with everything that's gone on in the summer, with the World Cup that's gone on, um, I don't know, and I don't think there's a lot of people that do know who we're going for in reality, because of that window is shut in terms of like letting people know the ins and outs of a duck's arse. I do, I do believe it's a little bit concerning. It is a little bit concerning, but don't panic. Just don't panic up until the day that it's shut. The window is shut because there's a lot going on at the club this summer, and we have kept a lot of players. Like a lot of negotiations were being done behind the scenes to keep players there rather than sign new ones. So now they've done that, it seems. Let's see what they do.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it
Well,
starts next week. Yes, I know it starts next week, but let's see what happens.
yeah. I mean, that's all we can do, really. To be honest with you. And look, I take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to reports, and we'll talk about some of these players that we've been continue to be linked with. Not that it means much, these links. I want to see us actually make approaches, and we aren't there yet. Now, 3 or 4 signings. I don't know if that will be enough because we've got a lot of football to play. The way I see it, we need 1 to 2 left wingers. I just Cornet. I'm not having Cornet in any stretch of imagination. I like Ajala, but again, the young players. I don't want to go into a season where we must get promoted and have to rely on the youngsters to really pull the weight. So at minimum one, let's say at minimum one left winger. We're gonna need to me at least one striker. I'm still not having Pablo and Tati. Apparently, there's rumors going around that he wants out, but we'll see. We'll get into that. We need some backup for Jared Bowen. I think. I mean, that'd be ideal. We need at least one centre back. If the youth goes, we probably need another left back. If Wan-Bissaka goes, we need another right back. I think we could do with a creative midfielder. If you would have seen Nick that game and some highlights, we
I
lack
caught up with it.
creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I caught up.
we sorely lack creativity, and maybe a DM. So I don't know if 3 or 4 signings is enough.
It
Like,
depends on the quality. It depends on the quality. If you're talking about 3 or 4 big signings, top quality signings, it might be enough because we've kept a lot of players. Listen, the window isn't closed yet either way. Yeah, so
yeah,
we have to take it with a pinch of salt that the players that are here are still staying. You know, listen, I'm not subscribing to we need 8 minimum and all of that sort of thing. I'm not,
yeah.
because there was a lot of shit floating around that squad last season that doesn't need replacing. Fulkrug doesn't need replacing. Alvarez probably doesn't need replacing. And they haven't even gone yet. So, I I watched other. I've been watching other channels. I've been watching other channels panicking, but I think it depends on the quality. I'm still confident that we will go up. You know, people say, I see people saying the other day that they're not even confident that we're going to make the playoffs, which is 8th place, which I think is madness. But I do understand that the panic, but I think the panic is starting a little bit too early. We need to get to the end of the transfer window to see where we are. You know, as I said, there's a lot gone on at this club this summer. There's a lot gone on, like lots of changes, lots of things left up in the air. Sullivan's still digging his fucking heels in. So we get to the point where now, you know, everyone's back from the World Cup. They come back yesterday. And, you know, we will know where we are in a couple of weeks by the end of September, by the beginning of September, because that's all we can do now, you know. Listen, there isn't a major load of business gone on if you look across it, and the World Cup does affect it. So let's see where we are in a couple of weeks' time, because it may be totally different. It might be totally different in a couple of days' time. So
it just, I look at it and I just think, you know, we've basically gone off whole pre-season, no new signings coming into bed in, you know, which is frustrating. And that's one of the things you want to see in pre-season when you're watching it. And when it comes to players, I mean, some of the players, again, you know, if you're taking your time and you get in some real quality that everyone goes, whoa, fucking hell. Like, by the end of it, you can look back and go, do you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. But we've been linked with at the moment on the left wing, Dwight McNeil and Sorba Thomas, who had a good season at Stoke. But they're not, to me, they're not those caliber of signings. And I'm not saying like West Ham, we need to have the same expectation of signings we had in the Prem. But what I'm saying is to go and take all this time, and those are the signings you get. Like with the money we've pulled in.
I saw what Voltemade was a link for the centre forward spot. You know, the one at Newcastle. It cost
that was fake. That was fake, apparently. That was a fake Ornsteiner profile that tweeted it out. Yeah. So that was, listen, for the Prem, I'm not having him, but I think it'd be good in the Championship. But it's one of them. Yeah, we want quality over quantity. That's for certain, right? So if it is 4 players that you look and you go, do you know what? They level up this team. But we also need profiles. I looked at this team, and honestly, the lack of pace, it just reminded me, you know, of seasons past. And it's the same lack of movement off the ball. You know, we get the ball, no one's running, no one's moving. They're standing around. Where should I pass? Just a very static team. We need energy in this team. We need legs. And I think that is absolutely critical. And we need goals, because look, if Tatty wants to leave, I thought it'd be good to keep him, because he scored a few goals for us in the Prem, and I feel like he could score some goals in the Championship. But I don't think he's going to be. I still worry he's not going to be that clinical for us. So if he wants to leave, let him go. But we just need to sign a striker, because I just don't think Pablo's ever going to get it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, striker's always been a curse for West Ham, isn't it? For a long, long time. We haven't had a decent striker for a fucking long time. So I think Tat is okay. I think Tat will do okay in the Championship. I think he will. If he doesn't want to stay, we do need to get someone in. But listen, the club will know all of this. You know what I mean? Like, we're sitting here talking about it, and a lot of people are sitting there talking about it like they don't know what they're doing. And, you know, we're treating it like it's the old regime. It's a new regime. And I think we should be looking positive. I really do. To see people absolutely fucking losing their shit already, I just find it a bit embarrassing, to be quite honest with you. Like, when people are looking into pre-season games, you know, we drew 1 week to Southend. We then go and fucking whop fucking Stevenage 5-0, and then we draw to a decent Rangers side, and people are absolutely fucking shitting the bed over it. Listen, I know there's signs, but we are not at the end of the transfer window. Somebody's saying we need 8 signings. I don't think we do. I think we've had too much. Like, in reality, we're not going to get 8 quality fucking signings. Like, so we would just be bringing in people that are fucking sticking around and are just more, you know, what do you call it? fucking Stalwood or whatever you call it. What do they call it?
What, Deadwood?
Deadwood, yeah, Stalwood.
Yeah.
More Deadwoods just hanging around the club if we do get promoted. So I don't think we need to bring that many in, like, you know, and bringing too many in at the same time isn't always fucking good because it takes time to bed people in, and the more you have, the more, you know, the longer it takes. So I'm not having that we need 8. But we need quality. We do need quality. We need a good midfielder, and we need a good sort of attacking player, whether it be a centre forward. We definitely need a left winger, and we need someone. We need a centre half because I'm still not having Kilman, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it's hard to trust him. He had a decent game against Rangers, but it's going to take a lot for him to earn back any sort of faith or trust from the West Ham fans of how poor he's been. And but I do think we need some cover for Bowen. I think that's so important because I think he's been run into the ground, and with all the games that we've got to play, you're having Bowen playing 90 plus minutes twice a week, and then we're not even talking about the cup games. I think we're just putting a lot of pressure on this idea that Bowen is just going to carry the team on his back week in, week out.
Yeah,
and
no, I understand.
He needs support.
So somebody said that we were woefully short in attacking options last season. We've seen 3 leave now, and we still have even more games. Even more games doesn't mean the same fucking quality of games. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to bring in players for the sake of bringing in players. We've seen that happen too many times, and that's why we are where we are, because we brought in players for the fucking sake of it.
But the thing is, we shouldn't be, because we are the big fish in this pond, right? At the Championship, we should be able to go to teams that were near the upper end of the table in the Championship and go and try and test the waters for their players. You know, really try and show some ambition when it comes to signings in the Championship. You know, I look at Sorba Thomas. He's had a good season. I think he 23 goal involvements for Stoke, but that's one good season. If you look at his stats season before season, it's barely anything. He's 27 years old. He was in the academy for West Ham years ago, and obviously let him go. But he's someone that you sign him, and he could have a decent season. It is important with guard, but he's just someone then that is deadwood because he's never going to be good enough for the Prem. So
it's exactly it. Exactly it. Like we've as I said before, just signing players for the sake of signing players is the reason why we are where we are now. Look at the players that we've got. Look at the players that are fucking lingering around doing nothing, that have been on loan for years and years and years. And look at the players like Cornet. You know, I fucking forgot Cornet even existed. You know, they were singing to him at Southend. We thought you were dead. You know, Fulkrug, not even getting pre-season games. You know, £25 million signing. Who else we got? Alvarez, out on loan last season, doesn't seem to be in anyone's plan. £40 million signing. Like, the amount of money we've wasted just bringing people in for the sake of bringing people in is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah. The thing is, we should have been somewhat prepared. I know we've had this transition where obviously Sullivan's out, Nils Coppin is in, but Nuno is still the head of transfers, right? He's still in charge. He's still the boss when it comes to transfers.
Yeah.
So surely he must have some idea of some of the players he wants to bring in, you know. And I just wouldn't like to see us piss away a month like that. Burnley game. Burnley is a tough game. That's a very tough opening game.
Portsmouth. Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, tough game.
Yeah, obviously Portsmouth. Listen, Portsmouth. I be honest with you. I just want to see us win that because it's our first home game. If we went out the Carabao Cup, I wouldn't give 2 shits this season. And that's not going to be unpopular because a lot of our fan base are like, cup runs. We're not going to win the fucking Carabao Cup. And it's the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
So
fuck that.
If we don't go up this season or at latest next season, we are in a big, big trouble as a club. So massive priority on the league. So yeah, look, I do want to see us, and like the thing is, if we do bring in some bodies just for the sake of bodies, you get someone that's in place of a youngster. That, as much as I don't want to rely on youngsters, and I don't want to be in a situation where we're having to go, right, Potts your first choice or Jala your first choice. Like, I want them to be I want to be in the squad. I want them to have a pathway. And if you get someone that's just, you know, just a body, but it's a bit older, then they're just taking up a place and not really adding much value, whereas the youngsters can. So we have to get bona fide starters, and we have to be a little bit forward thinking. But going up is the be all and end all.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't matter anything else that happens. We need to go up. And let's see what happens, man.
Do you? I listen. I think as it stands, I think this team gets playoffs. Right? What we've got, I think what we got gets playoffs. I don't think what we have is enough to go and get automatic. I don't think we'd get automatic.
I think it is, but it depends on the way we have to play games. I think we've got the talent to get and the players to get automatic, but I don't know whether we've got the bollocks. You know, you got to remember this. You know, Alvarez is still there, Wan-Bissaka's still there, Diof's still there. We haven't seen any of them. Souček's still there, and he'll be back October time. You know what I mean? Like, and we haven't seen any of them in pre-season or above. You know what I mean? So
they're not really like leveling us up. I think Souček will be a lift in terms of his grit and his goals.
Yeah, but they're
Wan-Bissaka,
still good players, mate. They're still
is Wan-Bissaka like this massive upgrade on Kyle Walker-Peters? That
I think he is. I think he is.
He didn't show that last season, did he?
In the championship, I think he is. But
he's not. Is he someone you want in the championship?
It's whether he's just someone. Well, this is the problem. It's whether they've got the bollocks. It's whether they've got the bollocks for it. If they come in and they want
the bollocks for a relegation battle,
no, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying in terms of what we need in terms of signings. You know, I think we've got the talent. Have we got the bollocks? I don't know.
Yeah, we need more. Like I said, I said this on my other video. I don't want to scrap and scrape for second, whatever. I want to lead the pack. I want to dominate this season, and doesn't mean it's going to happen. But we need to do everything we can to make sure that we are dominating and leading the pack this season. Do you know what I mean? And we are the favourites because, like I said, those teams like someone like Wrexham, you know, been really good in pre-season. They've had a season to cement themselves in the championship. They've got pull. Not the pool that we've got, and I think we should use our pool, but they've got pool. They're going to be someone that you look and think that's a threat. Like Middlesbrough have been knocking on the door for years. Burnley, obviously, they've got, you know, a squad and manager that knows how to get to do it. Wolves
going to be there. Burnley,
Wolves,
Wrexham, they look fucking brilliant the other night against Leeds.
Yeah, Southampton. I know they've got a 4-point deduction, but still 4 points. They can make that up like that.
Yeah, it's nothing. But...
So, like at the end of the day, it's not a given just because we're West Ham and we've got Jarrod Bowen.
The boys down the road didn't look bad last year. Let's be honest.
No, it didn't. No.
Over south of the water didn't look bad, and we got them pretty early. You know, so we've got to have the bollocks for it. We've got to have the bollocks for it because I'm telling you now, we went to Millwall before with a Premier League quality squad. And got our fucking asses handed to us, and I was there to see it. No,
yeah, and that is the thing, right? With this team, that I've said it many times before. We don't have enough players in there that would be up for that sort of battle, that sort of scrap, some fighters, and we need that for sure. So yeah, as E20 says, but I don't want to risk playoffs because anything can happen from one-off game. You know, you go Wembley.
You don't want to go playoffs at all.
No,
not at all.
Listen, it's the best way to get promoted, but it's such a one-off game of football. Anything can happen.
It's the most nervous. I hate every single minute of a playoff. Every time I've been in it, I fucking hated every single minute of it. You're a goal away from not getting up and then wasting a year. Yeah.
No, 100%, mate, 100%. So, yeah, I hope we get to see some movement coming up soon. You know, going into the league and get something, but yeah, it's getting tight now. You know, we've got a month, and it's been links. I want to see us. It's not that we haven't signed anyone. There's no bids going in unless we're keeping everything super secret. Which
I think we are. I think we are keeping it super secret.
But then we're the only club because every other club that makes bids, you find out if there's been a bid. We haven't seemed to made any. With clubs that have made bids, we've found out that we've rejected a bid for Diouf for Brentford because they only bid apparently like 15 mil.
Yeah.
There's a bid coming in for, I think, from Ajax soon, and we're valuing him like 15 million euros. So, there's not enough smoke that I'm seeing. They say there's no smoke without fire. I'm not seeing much smoke.
Yeah. But
like if we pull out a fucking signing say tomorrow or next week, fucking look, West Ham signed this geezer, I'll be like, fucking well played, like, masterful.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. The World Cup fucks everything up because everybody's away, even Championship quality players. Anyone any good is going to be playing with their country, in the World Cup. And there was a lot of fucking countries in that World Cup.
But Jared Bowen weren't. We had a few of our lot.
Yeah, well, he should have been.
A lot of our lot.
Fair when I've had a look at the other cunt that went, but. There we go.
Yeah, no, that's it. So look, hopefully something bloody happens soon, but we'll keep on top of it. We got Midtjylland or whatever coming up next. Again, that's just going to be another game that you're just watching players get fitness in. I can't stand preseason.
Yeah.
People talk about Hackney. People mention Hackney. Apparently, he's gone Everton.
Been gone to Everton for a month.
Yeah. I would go and I would obviously look at someone like Nketiah. I would try and loan Nketiah. Try and see what these loans. And it just feels like, I know the loan market usually kicks off like towards the end of the window, but I still feel like we could put some conversations in. But
of course, of course.
Yeah.
But then the loan market doesn't really start to sort of come about until the season starts because people don't really know whether they're going to get injuries by the start of the season. By the time that transfer window starts creeping up, they have an idea that they're going to be playing or not. So the loan market is tough until the last knockings, Yeah.
It's one of them. Like, no, that's what I just said. But like, I would explore it. This is a question. Would you go better on loan if Delap goes Everton? I think Delap is going. I don't think he's going Everton. Where did I see he was going earlier? But I would take better on loan in the Championship. I think he would be good for the Championship. He's one of them players that he's just lower tier Premier League, probably be upper tier Championship. But yeah, I think he's going. Because Chelsea is fucking sending him to somewhere and they're getting their striker. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this Max Dowman thing, I don't want youngsters from other teams on loan. I don't know about you, but I don't want academy players.
They won't trust him with us. He's too valuable.
Yeah, and like I say, look, he's a talented player, but I want some experience and I want some goals and I want some bollocks. Exactly, I want some bollocks. Beto is a rich man's Pablo. People compare him to Pablo. Come on, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. At least he fucking score goals in the Premier League. Pablo can't even say that. And listen, not many goals, but geez. So look, we'll see where we are in terms of the Midtjylland. Just quickly, Nick, looking at that lineup for Rangers, it's pretty much close to what we saw Southend. That seems to be the 11 at the moment. Ward-Prowse is in there. Like, are you happy with so far that as the 11, or would you switch it up?
No, I don't think this players come in after the World Cup. I don't think that's it. I think they're going to be.
Who would?
I think Diouf would come in and come back in. I really do. I think them two come back in straight away.
I think they have to.
If they ain't got rid of Alvarez, I'd put Alvarez in the midfield. I know it's not. It doesn't. Over Ward-Prowse. Yeah, and that doesn't solve our creativity issue. And maybe Ward-Prowse can go more, forward a little bit and play a little bit higher up. But La Madrid seems to be playing there at the moment. But I think them two go straight back in, whether I want them to or not. I just think they do if they're available. And I think Alvarez could go back in if he fancies it and if he's not gone. But I don't think it's going to be what we see. I think it may be what we see start against Portsmouth, but I'd be very surprised if it's what we see start against Burnley.
Yeah. That seems to be. I'm really surprised the Ward-Prowse redemption with Nuno. Really surprised. We never
Well,
thought that would
At
happen.
the end of the day, we've lost some quality there. You ain't really got a fucking choice, you know. So
Listen, with the way that Nuno was with him, I think unless they hashed it out, it was never. I think he would never have played him. But yeah, listen, I think he'll be an asset. I think he'll be an asset in the championship. I think that is his level now.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, like I said, on to Magellan. Someone put it in there. I don't know how you pronounce the bloody team.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm
But
sorry I
think we'll
didn't
be
watch the Rangers. Anyone who was expecting me to see there, I had something going on, and I couldn't make it at all. I won't say what it is, but it wasn't good.
Big thanks to Big Dave for stepping in.
Big Dave for covering, but I will be in Germany because I'm going to Berlin on Friday. So Magdeburg.
There we go, Magdeburg. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, we'll be keeping you update with what the hell is going on in this window in the meantime, and hopefully we'll have something to bloody talk about in terms of actual signings in a West Ham shirt. So listen, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.